Diary of a Cousin. My cousin, a college student, suddenly committed suicide at the end of May. His aunt found him hanging in his room, and the funeral on a rainy day was very dark and heavy. My cousin was cheerful and had many friends and did not look like the type to commit suicide, but my aunt did not seem to be in a mental state to ask her about the circumstances, so we never found out the reason. Some time later, my aunt suddenly asked me to help her clean up my cousin's room. She said she wanted to clean the room to refresh her mind, but she needed help with some heavy things. I was not very enthusiastic, but I could not refuse a relative's request, so I took the train to my aunt's house. When I arrived at the nearby station, my aunt picked me up in her car. She seemed to have recovered a lot from the funeral and her complexion was much better. I felt a little relieved and got into the car. "I was really sorry," she said. "I couldn't carry the oversized garbage and such by myself. Here's the money for my part-time job." She handed me a 10,000 yen bill, and I felt motivated. "Do you have any other job than carrying bulky trash? Are you planning to throw away everything in your room?" "Yes. Yes, I plan to move out of that house in the near future. I'm planning to move out of that house in the near future, and I'd like to keep my belongings as small as possible." "I see. Leave it to me. By the way, do you know where you're going to move?" "Yes, to a friend's house." I decided to keep quiet so as not to make any more careless remarks, and I looked out the window, wondering if he was her boyfriend, etc. When we finally arrived at the house, we quickly went upstairs to my cousin's room. When we finally arrived home, we immediately went to my cousin's room on the second floor. The room seemed to have been left as it was back then, with a few dusty patches on the shelves and chairs. My aunt seemed to be entering the room for the first time in a long time, and as she slowly looked around the room, she suddenly began to sob. "I'll do this room, it's fine. Auntie, go clean the rest of the room for now." "I'm sorry." She apologized and went downstairs. Where should I start? For now, I decided to start with the dust piled up and began to suck up dust everywhere with the vacuum cleaner that was left in the hallway. After removing the visible dust, I took the vacuum cleaner out into the hallway and began to gather the large number of books in one place. As I was cleaning up the books on the bookshelves, study tables, and even on the floor, my eyes suddenly fell on the storage cabinet under the bed. I wondered if there might be some classic items hidden there. With such a lowly thought in mind, I opened the shelf and was a little disappointed. There was nothing in the black shelves. Feeling disappointed, I closed the shelf and heard a thumping sound inside. When I opened it again, I found a black book inside, which I had not noticed before. I decided to read the book, thinking that it was quite a clever camouflage. February 18th. Today I had a drinking party with everyone in my circle. Aya and Ma-kun got very drunk and had a very hard time. I bought cream puffs for my mother on the way home, which made her very happy. Tomorrow I have a part-time job. I'll do my best. It appears to be my cousin's diary book. It seems that he wrote every day in blistering detail about what happened that day, and there were quite a few pages. Perhaps if I read this, I could find out the reason for my cousin's suicide. I found the page 1 month before the suicide and decided to read it from there. May 8th. My body is still feeling a bit tired, probably because of the end of Golden Week. I want to sleep for lectures, but I'll do my best. Aya seems to be into spirituality these days, and today she looked at my palm reading. Apparently, I am destined to die early. She said she will introduce me to a good fortune teller next time. I'm not really interested, but I guess everything is an experience. May 9th. Today's part-time job was the worst. I got tangled up with some nasty customers, and I kept making mistakes. Mr. Hayashi followed up with me and really helped me out. I'll have to thank her again. May 10th. I think Thursday is the hardest day of the week. Aside from that, today's lecture was very informative. Professor Mizutani's lecture is easy to understand. He is very different from that idiot in Murakami. Dinner was curry and rice. Probably I will have curry and rice tomorrow, too. Well, I like it, so it's okay. May 11th. Friday is the best day of the week. I can't take much time off because I have a part-time job on Saturday. I'm going to play games all night today. I heard that Aya is taking me to a fortune teller on Sunday. I heard they charge 2,000 yen per visit, so I hope it will be worthwhile. Dinner was curry udon. It was delicious. May 12th. I gave Mr. Hayashi a gift today. She said her hands are rough, so I gave her hand cream. I'm glad she was pleased. I also gave some hand cream to my mother. She said her hands don't get rough because we use a dishwasher. Tomorrow, Aya and I will have a fortune-telling session. Maybe I'll invite her to a movie after the reading. May 13th. I was surprised. Fortune tellers really know a lot of things, don't they? I was surprised that he guessed my thoughts, birthday, and memories of the past. Even if it was just a magic trick, it was still a great experience. It was a good experience. I also tried a little hypnosis. My body froze as he told me, and it was only for a moment before I blacked out. It really is an amazing ability. I invited Aya to a movie on the way home, but she declined. She said she had to do some things at home. May 14th. Today, Aya did what she calls a purification. I think I'm going to get into the spiritual world, too. She made me ring some kind of tuning fork in my ear and held a crystal in my hand, but I don't know what effect it had. I guess a fortune teller would be more effective. May 15th. After the lecture, I had no plans. I dropped in at the fortune teller's place. He somehow knew I was coming. I asked him if he could do the purification. He said he could, but it would take quite a bit of money. I can pay for it if I work hard at my part-time job, but I don't know what I should do. Today, I only had him inject my back with a reminder. May 16th. Today's part-time work was crazy busy due to the small number of people. Hayashi-san's child had a fever, but Naito-san and Hashiguchi-san completely skipped work. Why don't they just quit? I have a feeling that something dirty is accumulating in my heart. May 17th. After the lecture, Aya-chan and I went to see the teacher. Aya-chan says she doesn't get sick or stressed out at all thanks to her regular purification sessions with the doctor. I envy her. Aya's family is rich, and she sends money home for food, clothing, and shelter, and she can spend it all on fun. This is what I call disparity. After the teacher and Aya-chan entered the purification room, I had to wait for a while. I wonder why I followed them. May 18th. Lately, I've been getting frustrated. I am especially irritated with Aya. I wonder if it is jealousy. I also get irritated with my mom. We are a single mother family and my father left us when I was very young. I feel like she thinks I'm in the way. I had never thought about it before. Something is affecting me, and my heart is filled with dirt. The teacher needs to be cleansed. May 19th. I managed to prepare for the purification expenses with my annual savings and part-time job money. I managed to prepare the cost for the purification. It was 400,000 yen. It's a lot of money, even if the effect lasts for a long time. We will know the effect tomorrow. At dinner, my mother worried about me. She said I've been acting strange lately. I guess it's because I have a lot of dirt in my heart. It's quite a thing that even a dull mother can understand. When I told her it was nothing, she looked at me strangely. May 20th. I went to the doctor's office for a purification. I feel really refreshed. I saw Aya on the way home and she wasn't irritated at all. In fact, I wanted to hug her. I went home and hugged my mom. She said, "You're a strange girl." But she seemed a little happy. May 21st. It was such a refreshing day that it was hard to believe that today was Monday. Murakami's lecture was strangely enjoyable, and I was not tired at all at my part-time job. Even Mr. Hayashi said I was very energetic today. Thank you, Mr. Hayashi. I don't have a part-time job tomorrow, so I'll visit him again. May 22nd. Whenever I visit the doctor, he always sits in his chair and greets me as if he knew I would come. Maybe he really knows. I told him about the effect of the purification and thanked him, and he was happy to hear it. In fact, I heard that it can further purify your mind and give you the ability to see the truth. He told me that I had the potential to do so, judging from the effects of my purification. I told him that I would love to learn it, and he told me to come back the day after tomorrow to prepare. I am looking forward to it. May 23rd. Today, too, I enjoyed both my lecture and my part-time job. When I told Aya about yesterday, she was very disappointed. She said she had never heard such a story before. Unfortunately, Aya is not a good candidate for the job. I hope she will acquire the ability soon. May 24th. When I was walking in front of the station today, I was suddenly tangled up with a strange man. His aura is about to disappear. And has he done anything strange to you lately? Or something like that? I don't want to get involved with crazy people. I don't want to get involved with crazy people. May 25th. Strange. It's crazy. Since the doctor did the ritual, I see all kinds of weird things. They said something about opening the third eye and made me breathe in sense, and showed me videos of lots of patterns moving and becoming lots of human eyes and human faces, but I didn't understand what they meant. When I came out of the ritual room, the hallway was covered with fungus bugs. They were moving and sticking to the walls. I was horrified and went back to my room to tell my teacher that I had really opened the door. That's a lot of work. You'll see a lot of things, but hang in there, he told me and pushed me out of the room. He pushed me out of the room. The flapjacks were gone, but I could see dust floating up from the floor. I went outside and saw a lot of strange things. There was something like a gut on top of a traffic light, dripping liquid. In the bathroom at the train station, yellow liquid was coming out of the faucet, and it smelled so fishy I couldn't touch it. When I got home, my mother was there, and I cried in relief. She laughed and said, "Oh dear." I felt embarrassed afterwards. Everything was fine in the house, but I wondered what had happened to me. May 26. I missed college because I didn't want to go outside. Even from outside the window I can see huge slugs crawling on the ground and black blobs falling from the sky. I would go crazy if I went outside. My mom talked to me from outside the door around dusk, but I told her I wasn't feeling well. All she said was, "Oh, well." She only said, "Oh well." So far nothing has happened inside the house. I wonder why I can see so many things outside. May 27th. The doctor came to visit me at home. It seems he was worried about me. I didn't tell him where I lived, but I'm sure the doctor would have plenty of time to figure it out. I told him what was going on, and he explained it to me. He said he opened my third eye to show me the truth. I didn't understand the details of the theory, but it seems that the power of the video and the power of the incense can draw out a lot of potential. He told me that in order to control my third eye, I needed to take this, and gave me some Chinese herbs. I was told to take it before going to bed, so after I finish writing this, I'm going to take it and go to bed. Come to think of it, the doctor and my mother seemed to be quite close. I wonder if they knew each other. May 28th. No. It's no good. I can finally see it in the house. A reddish-black liquid was pouring out of the toilet bowl. There was a mass of flies in the kitchen. The refrigerator was packed with worms. For the time being, it seems that the room is still safe. But soon we will be able to see them inside the room. Yellow liquid also came out of the faucet in the house, so I was glad to have some mineral water in the room. Around evening my mom came to talk to me through the door. When I told her that I felt the effects of the Chinese medicine were strange, she cursed me loudly. She said I was disrespectful to the doctor. She said that I must take it because I would die if I didn't. What is wrong with me? What should I do? At any rate, I hope the Chinese medicine will work. May 298,889,999,999 days. I can now see in the room. Oh no, I'm done. The doors are getting bigger and bigger. It's pouring in from the outside. I hope the Chinese medicine will work. 30,292,827,262,524. I can't even begin to describe it. After I finished reading, I realized something that my cousin probably wouldn't have realized until the very end. As I was shaking alone, my aunt came up. I made lunch, would you like some? She said, yes, thank you. Can I have one? My aunt looked at me strangely. She asked, do you know anyone at the new place you're moving to, or is he a fortune teller? My aunt's face twitched for a moment, then turned serious. What if it was? Did you see anything? I thought further prodding was unnecessary, so I told her I had some urgent business to attend to, returned the 10,000 yen bill, and headed for the station on foot. As I was leaving, I turned slightly to look at my aunt's house and saw her staring at me from the window of my cousin's room on the second floor. My cousin's diary is taken out in his bag. I am sure that no one will be able to charge me with a crime if I hand this over to the police. Still, I felt it was too terrible to leave this diary filled with my cousin's feelings in that house. I have not seen my aunt since then, but apparently she recently remarried and had a child. No one was supposed to notice the fact that I was the only one who knew about it, and she was congratulated by many of her relatives. They all didn't even know what she had done. This concludes this story. Thank you for listening to the end.